What's up guys, Chatty CS here, and I just got back from vacation in Europe, and while I was gone, the CS2 market took a beating, and I am cooked. With that being said, there are a ton of deals on the market, and I'm going to show you the best knife and glove combos to buy this dip at 4 different price points. The 4 budgets that we're going to cover are low, medium, high, and I guess Ferrari or a rich budget, whatever you want to call it. Up first, we have the low budget, and these will be combos that go for around $400, which is definitely a respectable amount to get a nice starter combo that looks great. The first combo we have is the Bayonet Damascus Steel Minimal Wear for $300, and that's paired with the Broken Fang Gloves Unhinged Field Tested for $90. Now, I had to start you guys off with a banger so you can see that I know what I'm talking about, and that's exactly what we have here. These gloves are cheap and underrated, and they work perfectly with steel-looking blades. And a lot of the animations in-game changed while I was gone. The Bayonet got a nice-looking upgrade on the pullout. Also, you might hear me say this a couple times, but this is a great starter combo because of the neutral color, so it will work with all loadouts even if you do or don't have a theme. Now for our next combo, this is another banger at this price, and that's the Falchion Knife Vanilla for $197, paired with Moto Gloves Smokeout Well Worn for $170. The Falchion Knife has some of the best animations in the game, such as balancing it on your palm, the default inspect where you spin it around in your hand, and even the pullout. They all look great. And then pairing this knife with these Moto Gloves is perfect because the colors match perfectly, and if you want a slightly better wear, you can get these gloves in field tested for about $210. For under $400, you get some amazing animations and a combo that makes sense. This one's really a no-brainer if you like the Falchion Knife. This next combo is clean, and this is the Kukri Knife Blue Steel Field Tested for $178, and that's paired with the Moto Gloves Polygon Field Tested for $214. In a lot of budget combos, you'll see polygons paired with Brightwaters, but I actually think Blue Steel looks miles better than Brightwater. The Blue Steel matches perfectly with the knuckle and the dark blue parts of the glove. I also love the Kukri Knife. It's one of my favorite knives in the game, and it's got some of the best animations to spam. Plus, the Kukri is underrated and it's pretty cheap for how cool it is. For budget combos, it's really hard to beat the Kukri in my opinion, and the fact that you have this solid looking blue combo for less than $400 is amazing. Now, our last combo in this price range is actually the cheapest one, and it's the Nomad Rust Coat Battle Scarred for about $180, and that's with the hand wraps duct tape in any condition for about $90. I really like the duct tape gloves because most budget gloves look very simple, while these are actually different. This combo also matches thematically, and honestly, the Rust Coat is a slept-on finish. It's always super cheap, and it's essentially a vanilla knife with a little bit of wear on it, or maybe a lot in some cases, but it's just kind of like battle scars. The Nomad is such a great knife, and the animations are really unique. I really like the inspect where you flick it around your hand and you see all sides of it, and also the pullout is awesome where you toss it from one hand to another. Also, if you didn't know, the Nomad has a rare pullout where you cut your finger when tossing it, and there's really nothing in the game that has an animation like that. So for our cheapest combo, it's one that I really do like and recommend. Moving on to the medium budget, these are combos that will go for around $750. For the first medium combo, it's the Huntsman Gamma Doppler Phase 3 for $440, and that's with the hand wraps overprint field tested for about $210. The Huntsman knife is such a good knife, and it's on the cheaper side, so you can get insanely good looking finishes like Gamma Doppler for cheap. The Huntsman also has a fire pullout animation, and the blade is massive, so it takes on a lot of color and looks great. The overprint gloves are also amazing for the price because they have so much color and work really well with Gamma Dopplers. And for this combo, you can get a Phase 4, 3, or 1 for all around the same price, probably just about a $25 difference, and they all look slightly different but work well with these gloves. Next, we have a combo that I never see in game, and when I was putting it together, I knew it was a banger, and it's the Skeleton Knife Blue Steel Field Tested for $415, and that's with the Specialist Gloves Field Agent Field Tested for $270. Now, I hope you guys see the vision behind this combo, because for just around $700, you get such a fire knife that pairs with these gloves perfectly, and these gloves are also super clean with no scratches except on the side of the thumb, which you don't see most of the time. The Skeleton Knife has some really amazing animations such as the rare pullout and the rare inspect animation, plus the way that the blade is shaped, it really shines well even for field tested blue steel. Also, arguably, gloves are the most important part of a combo because you see them all the time, so having such a clean pair of gloves really makes every loadout feel a lot more premium, and that's what you get with these field agents. We've covered a green and a blue combo in this budget, so it's only right that we cover red next, and we have the Flip Knife Slaughter in a minimal wear condition for $415, and that's paired with an absolutely fire pair of gloves, which are the Sport Gloves Scarlet Chamois in a well-worn condition condition for $370. Now the flip knife is a classic OG knife. It's really doing more with less, and this knife looks amazing in the slaughter finish. There are definitely other minimal wear slaughter knives you can get for around the same price for this combo, but I think the flip knife looks the best with these gloves because even the handle is sort of the same color as the non-red parts of the glove. These gloves have to be the best ones that we've covered so far. They look amazing because they're sport gloves, and even in well worn they look so good condition wise. Just check out the knuckle. The little bit of wear there doesn't even look noticeable at all because it blends in with the pattern on the rest of the gloves. So for an absolutely amazing red combo, especially at this budget, pick these up and you won't be disappointed. For our last combo in this range, I had to throw in an absolute banger of a knife, and a butterfly knife for Karambit doesn't fit into this price range, but the M9 Bayonet Force DD-Pat minimal wear for $590 with specialist gloves Force DD-Pat field tested for $250 does. Now I've seen a ton of people with camo combos, so there's definitely some of you watching who see the vision with this combo. However, the price of this combo pains me because I'm re-recording this now after the animations update, but before I left for vacation and originally recorded and screenshotted prices, this combo was only about $750, but since I've been gone, these gloves have pumped in price like crazy, and I wanted to include the combo anyway because of how nice it is. The M9 has arguably the best looking blade in the game and also has a great pull-out animation. It's a knife that's been in the game for forever, has tons of history and tons of pros who use it. These specialist gloves obviously match perfectly to the knife finish, and the great thing about specialist gloves is at field tested you don't even have to settle for a bad knuckle or anything like that because they always look low float even in field tested. The next budget that we have is the high budget, and I would say for high budget that would be about $2,000. At this price range you can get some really sick combos like our first one. Firstly, we have the Talon Knife Doppler Phase 3 for $1,425, and that's paired with a lot of people's favorite gloves, driver gloves Snow Leopard in a field tested condition for $525. This knife is absolutely fire, and in certain lighting it straight up looks like a sapphire knife for like 1/3 of the price. It's a steal. The Talon knife has amazing animations, and it's a great knife to play with if you've never tried it. For the gloves, there are a ton of options that look good with Talons, maybe some that even match slightly better. However, when you're spending this much on a combo, you want gloves that look good with all of your skins, not just the knife, and that's why Snow Leopards are the easy option here. They quite literally work with all weapons in the game. There is one issue, however. Ethically, is it okay to wear Snow Leps? Is the drip worth it? I think so personally, and so does the market, as they're the most expensive driver glove. This next combo was stolen from my friend Desi, so if you're watching this, shout out to bro. We've got the butterfly knife Damascus Steel field tested for $1,250, paired with sport gloves Omega field tested for $450. My goal was to get a butterfly knife combo that looks good into at least this budget, and we have just that. If any of you guys have seen my previous knife and glove combo video, I'm always advocating for Damascus Steel finish because I think they look very similar to vanilla, and it's way cheaper while looking just as good. The butterfly knife needs no introduction. It's got the best animations in the game without a doubt, and most people would trade their knife for a butterfly knife if they had the opportunity to. The Omegas, on the other hand, are such a good glove for this price. They always look pretty good in field tested, and many people try to pair Omegas with yellow knives. However, I think they look amazing, maybe even better with Damascus Steel. So for under $1,800, having a good looking butterfly knife with some amazing gloves, you can see why I had to include this. Next up, we have a crazy colorful combo, and that's the M9 Bayonet Marble Fade for $1,500, paired with specialist gloves Fade for $380. I don't have to gas up the M9 any more than I did before. It's the best looking blade in the game, and with it being so massive, it takes on so much color, so the Marble Fade finish looks amazing on there, and this Marble Fade is just a random one I picked up off the floor to showcase. As far as the gloves go, these match the knife perfectly. They actually look way better than Specialist Gloves Marble Fade for whatever reason, and I like how clean the top side of these gloves are, and also the color looks great, and at field tested, there isn't much that's wrong with these gloves. I know this combo isn't for everyone because it's super loud, but if that's what you're after, this is perfect for you. Also, if you didn't know, these are the gloves that Zywoo always uses. For the last high budget combo that we have, it's one that I personally own and run. It's the Stiletto Knife Doppler Phase 2 for $1,425 with driver gloves Imperial Plaid field tested for $385. The Stiletto Knife is an S tier knife. It's so different from everything else in the game. Doppler finishes look amazing on the Stiletto because pretty much everything except part of the handle takes on the color. It also has such a sick pullout animation and inspect. The Imperial Plaids are also another pair of gloves that look way more expensive than what they are. For only $380, you get super colorful gloves, and even though they aren't perfect matches with Phase 2 Dopplers, the contrast works really well. Also, if you do plan on picking up Imperial Plaids, definitely look around the floor because some will have drastically better knuckles. These ones are pretty scuffed up, but honestly maybe it's cope, but even bad knuckles don't look that bad, they just look kind of shiny at the front. Our last budget category is the Ferrari or rich budget, and I know that sounds a little cringe, but I had no clue what else to call it. This budget won't really have a price range, but it won't just be outrageously expensive combos like Emerald Butterfly and Hedge Mazes. Either way, up first we have the Butterfly Knife Gamma Doppler Phase 2 for $6,100, and that's paired with Snow Leopard's Minimal Wear for $1,200. Phase 2s in CS2 look amazing and are the most expensive phase for Gamma Dopplers and Dopplers for good reason, and as you can see, it looks amazing on this knife as well. I paired this Butterfly Knife with Snow Leopards because in Minimal Wear, they're pretty much flawless gloves, and as mentioned before, they look pretty good with all skins in the game, so for a starter rich combo, these would fit the criteria. And also, if you were waiting for a market dip, these Phase 2s really did take a hit in comparison to a lot of the other market, so they're definitely a bit discounted, and as someone who owns a few P2s, I need you to help me pump my bags. Now for our next combo, it's honestly a pretty popular one, but it's down a bunch since the peak, so I had to include it, and it's the Karambit Doppler Phase 2 for $4,800, and that's paired with Vice Gloves field tested for $1,100. Now, I have a lot of bias to this combo because it's one that I'm always running on my T side. I also use the Miami Daryl Agent skin, so it's actually a perfect match. And the Karambit is such a sick looking knife, and the pullout is peak to me. As somebody who likes to think that they're an opper, there's no better feeling than hitting a nasty shot and then pulling out the Karambit. And Phase 2 Dopplers are pretty much the only true pink knife in the game. Fades can come pretty close, but nothing like Phase 2 Dopplers. Also, Vice Gloves are unique. There are no other pink gloves in the game, so they work perfectly with Phase 2 Dopplers, but if you prefer Gamma Doppler, you can also pair it with that, especially if it has more cyan color than green. Next up, we have a classy combo, and that's the Butterfly Knife Fade for $4,300 with Sport Gloves Nox Minimal Wear for $1,650. This combo is low-key a perfect match. This knife has just enough flair to make it not look boring, plus it's a butterfly knife, and since we're in the rich budget, it's definitely the best knife to get because it's the most expensive and it has the best animations in the game. Now, as far as the Nox go, you can definitely get these in field tested and there's basically no difference, but since we're rich, we're going to take them in minimal wear because we can, and I know a lot of people aren't a huge fan of Nox, and I was like that for a while, but they've really grown on me. Also, look at the handle of the butterfly knife and how it matches with the gloves. It's such a good looking combo, and the butterfly knife fade is so iconic, and it's also dropped so much in price recently, so if you like this combo, definitely go for it now while it's cheap. Next, we have an insane combo with the M9 Bayonet Gamma Doppler Phase 2 for $4,800, and that's paired with the Moto Glove Spearmint field tested for $3,800. Now, this combo is cracked. The Phase 2 Gamma Doppler is a perfect match for the Spearmints. This is probably the best matching gloves in the game for them. Just take a look at the accents on the Spearmint and how it matches the color of the Gamma Doppler. The knuckle also matches the handle of the M9, and I love how Spearmints have a nearly full super white palm. And if you can afford them, Spearmints are such nice gloves to own, and I love how they look surprisingly good with most skins in the game. Some gloves like Vice's, for example, may clash too much color-wise with certain skins, where Spearmints look pretty good. So if you want some super baller gloves for your combo, definitely check out Spearmints because they work with so many high-tier knives in the game, but definitely the best are Gamma Doppler Phase 2s. There are so many other great deals on the market right now, and even in the few days it takes me to record and edit this video, a lot of the prices could have already started rebounding. What skins have you guys been looking at with this market dip? And also, don't forget to join my Discord. I'll be hosting some giveaways in there right now. Thanks for watching. Chatty out.